Zed and welcome to the Lone Line Academy classroom. All right, today we're going to look into this exercise over here. I call this human versus AI. This guy here was created by me, I'm a human, and the chopper behind him by a AI video generator. To be more precise, disco diffusion. And I wanted to get that flicker glitchy look. So that was the intention, just for this video demonstration. Before we dive into this, I want to thank everybody for following this channel. I had one of the subscribers ask me this question. Can you please compare Ebsynth with Stable Diffusion ControlNet showed in this video? I'm not sure which should I learn now. Many thanks. That's actually a really good question. And that's a question that I asked myself before. And that is a question I'm sure a lot of people are wondering as well. So to answer your question is, you can use both. You can use Stable Diffusion and Ebsynth, absolutely. But if you're asking, can this project be entirely done using Stable Diffusion? Well, before I answer your question, first of all, I use Stable Diffusion myself. I downloaded it. I've been playing with it. A lot of trials and error. And from my experience, it's a creative flow killer. It kills the creativity flow. And I hated it. Thing is, if it's going to get the job done faster, I'm going to get that tool. If everyone's using it, I'll use it. So I wanted to see it myself, how it works. So the question always comes down, what are you looking to achieve? Do you want to make a story? Do you want to make a film? Or do you just want to make a little video, little cool clips? That's it. Or music videos, So it always comes down, what are you exactly looking for? So for me, I'm more of a storyteller. I'm more of a filmmaker. Like I want to be able to tell a story. I need to use something that is consistent, something that I have full control over it. When it comes to a passion project, I just want to have fun in the process. I want to sit back, paint, and see the result. I don't want to prompt and do a lot of trials and errors and click here and there in my spare time to get a result. No, I don't want that. So for this exercise, I actually created a project folder. You can find it in the link below, and you can download it yourself and dig into the into the project, see all the layers whatsoever, and also, create your own style. Before we get into that, let's talk about the programs that I used for this. So I used Photoshop, Ebsynth, Premiere Pro, and After Effects. Now, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and After Effects are paid programs. And if you want to use something that is free, you can use Krita, which is free, similar like Photoshop. That's the substitute of Photoshop. You can use it. It does pretty much everything that Photoshop is able to do, especially for this project. And you can also use HitFilm that will substitute Premiere Pro and After Effects. So it does both editing and compositing, adding effects. So they're both free. And maybe in the future, well, most likely in the future, I'll make a video to create a project using entirely free programs along with Blender whatsoever. So you can download the project folder by following the link. And this is what you're going to find. SWATman. I call it SWATman. I couldn't think about a name. And in SWATman, there's 3 folders. One is chopper, PNG. That's where you'll find the chopper footage. The chopper footage is right there that you can use to paint over. You can use AI or just use Ebsynth. I used AI. I use Disco Diffusion for this. And this is the project folder. This is the kind of main folder, you can say. So over here, there's already 3 keyframes, the keyframes that I use for this project over here. So maybe you want to create your own style. I mean, the whole exercise is for you to create your own. And this is the PSD file that you can look into it. You can investigate, look into the layers, and see, how I did it basically. And this is a folder with all the layers that I used in the compositing program. So here it is. Then you have the glass B, like damaged. And then you have light rays. So all the layers are there. You can use them if you want. Or, what I really want you to do is create your own so you can have more fun with it. But feel free to, take this and do whatever you want. So I'm giving it to you. It's in the house. And this is the folder with the video, the folder of the video. So the PNG sequence is already ready for you. So all you need to do, go to PS and open the folder, any of them. Just open this one, the first one. So I painted 3 keyframes to make this work. Now, I already did the outline for you. Now I'm gonna take this one out, and this is my paint layers that I added. And so let's actually open this folder of my paint layer, and let's go through all the layers. So this layer was there. This is actually a texture that I used of a gun that I pasted on top. Okay, let's open this guy over here. Okay, so so this is my paint layer over here, and underneath the paint is the actual footage. But you see there's like a color adjustment that has been applied to make it look like you know, the night filter basically. And also I'm gonna remove the rim light that we're getting right now. So without the night filter, this is the actual footage, and on top of the footage, this is what we got. So what is underneath this layer? So there was actually a base texture that I applied on top, and then I painted it over, and eventually I applied these filters to get this look. And since it's a night shot, it was a lot easier for me to kind of cheat, not to go crazy on details, because it'll be lost in the shadow. And I really wanted to bring out the character by adding the rim light that kind of makes it more pop. This is a light rays that kind of like works well. Background is quite simple. It's first of all I'm gonna remove this night filter that I added, and I'm gonna go back here and take all these layers out, see what we're getting. So again, this is the actual footage, applying the night filter, and then on top of this I decide to paint by bringing some highlights, as you can see, you know, not going crazy, not spending too much time, because the whole style of this project is to make it look like it was painted, brushstroke. So let's go through all these layers over here. So I'm not gonna, you know, go through the whole process of how I did this. I mean, you got the idea. You can check it out yourself. If you want to like do this exercise, you know, just to have fun with it, have fun in the process, and see what you can come up with. First thing that you can do is, I would just delete all this layers. Like, so the first thing that you can do is, this is where the guideline is, and you can work on the guidelines, make it more clean. So I'm gonna go back to this one over here. This one I feel like the guidelines were actually cleaner. On top of this layer, on top of this fill, create a new layer. This is underneath the guideline, and you can just start coloring this. I want to try something different now compared to what I did before. You can also like find some pictures from Google and paste it on top, texture wise. Maybe I should just stick with something more desaturated. Let's add the bright value. So I think by playing with only 3 colors, it's giving me a pretty good result. And if I'm doing this, I feel like he doesn't match with the background. The background, you know, you could change the background if you like, make it in the same world, or keep the same background. Now, so once you're like, let's say, satisfied with the result that you want, remove the background and save this in the keyframe as a PNG. So you go to keyframes. First of all, let's delete the keyframes that I have there, because I'm creating a new keyframes. And I'll recreate the folder. I'll call it keys. And let's save it over here by removing the copy, the word copy, because it has to be the same naming as the video. And let's do that. And let's open Ebsynth. Drop your keys to keys, and drop your video to video, and run synth. All right, now that the render is done, let's bring this to After Effects. I'll put this to 24. Okay, so this is how it looks like in After Effects. So let's you know what? Let's play this by a quarter. Takes less RAM. It's cool. It's holding until you know, he turns around. So that's why I have 3 keyframes to paint over. But even with 1 frame, it's not so bad. So we're gonna paint the back frame for sure. So maybe with 2 frames you could work. So you'll need to draw at least 2 frames. Definitely the back side. So I'm gonna let you just have fun, play with it, you know, see what you can get out of it. Now, let me show you the comp that I did. So this is what it is, and let's look at all the layers. Wow, it's overwhelming, you know, by looking at this. But the truth is, it's not so complicated. You know, it's definitely not so complicated. And I didn't just stack bunch of layers all together at once. I did it one by one. I'm like, okay, this is cool. Let me try to add this. Let me try to add a shattered glass. Let me try to add some smoke that you see over here. So all this, a lot of stuffs are from Footage Crate, and added this, you know, these elements, explosions whatsoever, and a lot of it just done, like the muzzle flash. That was I created that, and same thing for the shattered glass. That was done in Photoshop as well. So and again, the chopper, that was rendered in Disco Diffusion. There's quite a videos on YouTube that you can find, you know, making videos from Disco Diffusion. You can use the same template and just insert your video, follow the guide, insert your video, and you can get a pretty cool result. Takes a bit of time though. The render takes a bit of time, yeah. Thing is, if it wasn't for this exercise, I would definitely use Ebsynth on this chopper. But obviously the intention was to make this look like flickery, and intention was to use AI. All right, so let's go through all the layers that's in this composition. So you have airborne particle that was added from Footage Crate. I have a camera, of course, because the camera is tracking in, and yeah, the camera is tracking in slowly, you know. And I have another footage of this is the Footage Crate debris blast. I'm gonna go on this frame. It's the light rays that I created in Photoshop. And if you see this is in soft light mode. So it's not normal mode, it's soft light mode. And then you got the back muzzle flush. That's for the reflection of this gun on the mirror. I had to create that separately. And this is the SWAT flying, which comes at the end, appears at the end. So it's like just like single frame that I just painted and add a lot of motion blur. And then I did a translation, so it just flies off. We have to make this guy blown out of the screen. So now you got the bullets. This is the flying bullets. This is, as a matter of fact, this is just 3 frames. So it's in a loop. So it just gives the illusion that, you know, it's the chopper is shooting something. So again, you know, while I was working on it, I just end up adding more and more layers just to give more life to this shot.